Hello guys, my name is Marcel. I got first place of the OTS championship series with Geargia. I want to share my deck lists with you, and my matchups was Salamangreat 2-0 win, Salamangreat Adventure 2-0 win, then Swartsuit Senji also 2-0, and the last match was Despia, Shadow, Dogmatica Invoked, and this was 2-0 as well. And yeah, that's my deck list. So the monsters I was playing are Tribal Auga. Geargia Auga searches on Summon, Earth level 4 machine type monster. It's good to see him in the opening hand first turn, because you can summon it, search the Accelerator, special summon the Accelerator, and then you can make your Giant X and keep the Accelerator back to your hand, or searching some other Geargia cards. The sad thing about him is that he is locking you into machine monsters for the rest of the turn, so you cannot go that crazy, but crazy enough. Then the second searcher of the deck is played Tribal Armor. Armor is a little similar to Auga. When he's flipped face up on summon or on attack, he searches you a Geargia monster, and he could flip himself to face down again, just like Guru, you could say. Then I played Tribal Accelerator. The Accelerator is the reason why this deck is playable, because Accelerator will special summon itself if you control a face-up Geargia monster, and he will special summon itself in defense position, and it's not once per turn, so if you can keep recycling it, or if you have multiples of it, then you can float the board. Then I played Tribal Arsenal. Arsenal is something like the Lone Fire Blossom of the deck. You can tribute itself to special summon any Geargia monster from your deck. Then I play, you could say, 5 Garnets. These are the Geargianos, MK2, S3 off, 1 Ritripri Geargiano, and 1 Geargiano MK3. Normally you play around, I would say this one you don't play in normal standards, you play one of these and triple of these, but I want to add the deck MK3. The reason is following. MK2 has the effect when you normal summon or flip summon it, and you can special summon a Geargia monster from your hand or graveyard in face up defense position. Geargiano has the effect when you tribute it, you can special summon a level 4 from your graveyard. And MK3 has the effect when you special summon him with the effect of a Geargia card. Then you can special summon another Geargia monster from your grave. Its effect are negated, but you are locked in Geargia monsters for the rest of the turn. But that is not that problem. I will show you why. That's all our monsters I was playing. I played no hand traps. It's more of a control build. I will show it to you. The only spell I was playing is 1 Harpy's Feeder Duster. It's enough. You don't need any spells, but I wanted to have something in the main deck for back row decks. For traps, I played a lot. I played Tribal Geargia. This card allows you to special summon Geargiano monsters. That's these little guys on your field. 2, and its level increased by 1, so you activate this, and then you can special summon 2 of the 5 you have in your deck, and have 2 level 4 monsters, so you can go off with some Xyz plays. And the interesting part of this is a Geargia card, so if have you something a field of Arsenal, then tribute Arsenal to special summon any of the Geargia monsters, most of the time the armor, and then you will put the armor face down, have the trap, then something like that, then you will activate the trap, special summon, for example, these two, then the MK3 will special summon your arsenal from grave. So technically you have with 2 cards 4 monsters. This will search you on your turn, then an accelerator, then you have 5 monsters, and then you can go crazy like that. So pretty easy. So it's you could say 2-card combo. Happens sometimes on this little tournament, and yeah, it wins you games pretty easily because you can break your opponent's board and then go for an OTK. Then I played Triple Compulse. Compulse is extremely good against Mirror Jade or against Phoenix Enforcer or some threats you don't want that they trigger in the graveyard or in a banish pile. So this is a really great answer to extra deck monster, and for Mirror Jade it's instant wipe. So you don't want to trigger the Mirror Jade, so Triple Compulse, and it even can, yeah, I would say it's good for when your opponent wants to make some combos with some play, so Sword Soul, bounce the Sword Soul token or something like that. It's pretty funny. Then I played Triple Lost Wind. I was thinking at first I wanted to play Impermanence, but Lost Wind, in my opinion, is a control build better because it can recycle itself, and it's only function in damage step 2. And yeah, when something like Phoenix Enforcer would like to go off or Mirror Jade, then you can chain Lost Wind and negate that stuff. Then I played Triple Prison against DPE and against Eldritch and some decks that share monster types, so Dragon Link and so on. Then sometimes there was one time in the tournament I needed a level 4 monster, and because I had only one monster on the field, and I snatched a level 4 monster to make my Xyz plays. Yeah, you can even do that. And so it's a good out against Dragoon. Then I played one trap trick. The math behind is I have a lot of normal traps in my deck. I was at first playing most of the traps 2 times, except for the Geargia, because this is the most important normal trap you play in. And playing this at 2 and 2 trap trick. But I was cutting 1 trap trick for all the yugiohs, because the mess behind is this can be a 4th copy of any normal trap I'm playing, and when I need anything like that, this one to make OTK, this one to interrupt, or this for interrupt, and this for interrupt, so that I have everything available when I need it. So as I mentioned before, this is the 4th copy of any normal trap card I was playing, and I was not seeing it the entire tournament. I always sided this out because it sucks going second, and I needed cards that I can side out for better cards, I guess. So I guess I will kicking it, but in theory 1 is perfectly fine and pretty good. But I was seeing this stuff a lot, so that's not so. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Then for the a little Solemn package, Triple Strike to interrupt your opponent, and Tree Judgment to interrupt your opponent, and to protect your back row, for Harpy's Feeder Duster, for Lightning Storm, and all that good stuff, so evenly matched and so on. And yeah, for Battle Traps, that's a little surprise, I was playing Triple Storming Mirror Force. Storming Mirror Force was okay. There was 2 times my opponents would go for OTK or try to break my boards with high boss monsters. So the Yangxing one, I was negating his stuff. Then he wanted to attack me. Activate Mirror Force. Had the Geargia, and then I can go for OTK. This one is not only for defense purpose. When your opponent wants to attack you, then I can clear their entire board without any trigger when there's destruction effects or something like that. And then when you have an open field, then you can go for the OTK. So that's pretty important for this deck, that you have an open opponent's field to make as much damage as you can. When this deck is rolling, then it's really hard rolling. Then for the extra deck, I was playing a bit of a token. I'm playing, you could say, the boss monster, triple Geargia X. Geargia X is pretty good in this deck. You need it. It can snowball into a lot of interactions and is recycling your stuff, so 3 is really needed. Then the secret boss monster of the deck, Zeus. I make it Zeus all the time. It really breaks board. It hinders my opponent to make any boards because they must play carefully. I was always pumping this out pretty soon. When I had not that much back row, or when I summon him, then I'm only setting 1 or 2 cards. Then I wanted to interrupt my opponent with the trap cards and then with the Zeus, because that's much funnier, because this one has a very great impact if you make it. Then I was playing one Fortune. This little Fortune birdie is really good. It's fantastic in this deck because it can recycle 2 of your level 3s and itself. That's very important, because for this trap card to be has to be alive, you has to keep this Geargianos in your deck. And this one will shuffle them back from your graveyard. And furthermore, when you break with so many Geargianos, like you have MK2 and the MK1, and you can special summon this with these 2 and then make Zeus, because this one will not getting destroyed. That happens, I guess, 2 times in a tournament. Then I was playing the F-Zero package. It was fantastic. We'll definitely keep it. Then for store reasons, I play Baguska. Never make this one, but in theory it's pretty good if you don't have anything to prevent your opponent from OTKing you, or when you know you're playing against some combo decks or something like that, and then you make Baguska, then take turns until you have enough resources to go for game, and then you go from there. Playing one Abyss Dweller, to shut down DPE or more or less your graveyard relevant decks. So Abyss Dweller is a must-have in a Xyz deck, and this deck really pumps out Xyz like crazy. One Tornado Dragon, make him twice, I guess. It's good to have something like that to pop your back row. Pop your opponent's back row. Then our All-Star one, I played one Castel. I have 1 spare place left in my extra deck, so I wanted to try out Castel. It's pretty good for something like your armor getting impermanence or Wailer. Then you can put him back in face-down defense position, or more, when you teach 2 materials, you can shuffle back 1 face-up card on the field. You can make, for example, you can shuffle back your own Zeus if you want to, when it has activated its effect, or you can shuffle something. For my example in the tournament, I shuffled with this 2 access code talker, and I guess what was the other card? Something really big card shuffled always back. No one is expecting this one, and I find him funny because you avoid triggering your opponent's monsters. For example, Mirror Jade, shuffle it back, and it wouldn't trigger. And I played one Gagaga Samurai. The Gagaga Samurai is needed because if you have 2 level 4 Geargia monster and 1 Accelerator, you can pretty easily make OTK, because you can summon Geargia X 2 times and 1 Gagaga Samurai. And that's pretty OTK, because it's 8,400 ATK. in total, so it's a lot of damage you can put on board. For the people who doesn't know what this card does, it can defeat your own material and attack 2 times that turn. And when your opponent wants to attack some of your monsters, you can change this to defense position, and then they must attack the Geargia Samurai. They are played 1 arc. In theory, the arc is there for something like you can suck up your face-up monsters from your opponent, then attack, and then you can make Zeus with 2 materials. It's pretty good against Sky Striker for not triggering the ray, good against Mirror Jade because it wouldn't trigger the Mirror Jade, and yeah, something like Shadow, not triggering the Shadows to recycle any of their cards back, and so on. So it's a nice card, but I never make this. Daigusto Emerald one for recycling your stuff back, recycling Zeus, recycling Silhouetters, recycling your Geargianus, yeah. And for the Link monster, I played one of these cards, but I could make him once, but I will kick him, because when you have a lot of Xyz monsters, then you would later go into F-Zero, or when you don't need F-Zero, then you can, with all this Xyz monsters, you can make easily OTK most of the time. So there is no point in playing this card. It's in theory better than in the actual play. I will swap this, I guess, with Exit Knight. Exit Knight is just like a mini Zeus, but Exit Knight would me much of the games easier, because in today's formats, all cards makes so much plus. They make more plus than you do, so your opponent will often have more cards than you. And when you make Exit Knight, you can always blow up their field, attack, and then go into Zeus with your traps and so on. It's pretty good in controlling your opponent to waste their resources. Yeah, this is my deck. This is my Geargia deck that I played. And yeah. The next will be the side deck. In the side deck I had Triple Gamesiel. Gamesiel is good for outing some monsters just like Baroness or DPE, so that they wouldn't trigger. Then against combo decks and against back rows like Eldritch or Altergeist or something like that, I had 3 Lightning Storm. Then to break combo deck fields, I have Dark Ruler No More. I sided this in, I guess, very often. This one, I guess, only 1 or 2 times against Salamangreat. This I doesn't side in at all. But this one, Triple Anti-Spell Fragrance, I sided very often. In fact, every match, I guess. It's extremely good. I was thinking about playing this in the main deck, but I favoriting the Judgment in the main deck, so as protection for my spell and traps, and as negation. But I'm really thinking that I should play the Anti-Spell Fragrance main. Maybe I will cut the Trap Trick and 1 Storming Mirror Force, and I guess 1 Lost Wind. Maybe I must looking what I would cut, but then I really wanted the Anti-Spell Fragrance in my main deck. And for the last card in my side deck, I played Triple Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. It's a really old card, and it's an extremely good card against some deck just like Albas and Despia and Invoked, because they shut down their entire Dark Engine. So they get no search, they get no effects, and yeah, it's even good against Shadows. Shadows don't trigger, and so on. That was my side deck, and this was my Geargia deck in total. I wanted to give a quick shout out to my friend Marco Ebenhöch, Schmirko, to Abdurrahman Demir and to the entire Fantasy Store Euskirchen staff and for my family, who's always supporting me and my hobby. I always will love you guys. Thank you.